I honestly think that that's one of my superpowers, is being able to find the calm in the chaos. Because if you don't, put it this way, if you don't, you're in the shit. If you cannot find the calm in the chaos, or if you cannot find the balance within the bullshit, this is just the words that came to my mind. If you can't find that balance within the bullshit that's going on, that's the step one of all steps. You're going to struggle. And that is literally a superpower, right? So that's a superpower that you could just teach other people. Hey, I want you to stop for a second, just come back down to, you know, the here and now, or come back into this room where you're safe within this environment. And the next hour, the next 5 days, however long you're working with people, every time you step into this environment, I want you to understand that this is like your time. You can step out of your problems, out of your challenges, out of your issues, and we can actually work on them from a different aspect, from a different point of view. And that's what true wisdom is. You're seeing things from different points of view. When you see things from different points of view, you have a different way of thinking, feeling, and acting about them. It's probably the best advice that I could give you. Just allow things to happen. You'll be absolutely okay. If I look stressed out and worried, then you could be stressed out and worried. If I don't, then it's time to chill. So there's going to be 5 parts to this training. Step number 1 is going to be the foundations, all right? So if you want to write this in on page number 8 of your manual. Okay, so this is the 5 parts of the training. Number 1 is going to be the foundations. Number 2, we're going to go through the toolbox of influence. These are going to be all the little micro tools that you use with your macro tools. Okay, very, very powerful to understand them in a way that you can actually use them. Number 3, we're going to go through the actual self-mastery techniques themselves. Number 4, we go through the self-mastery session. So that's going to be next weekend. It's going to be all about the self-mastery session. And you can do that one-on-one. You could do that in small groups. You could do that as a 6-week program. There's so much you can do with it, right? That side of things is really up to you and what works for you as an individual and your business model and all those sorts of things. And then step number 5, we got to do the assessment, the test, and have graduation, have a little party, and you're good to rock and roll. Now, what I would say is a lot of you are already working with people. Absolutely great. My advice would be, you've got 2 weeks. Obviously, you've got this weekend and then next weekend. Start getting people interested. Start getting people's attention of what it is that you're doing. Start looking for 3 to 4 people, 5 people that want to, change the way that they think, feel, and act. I'm looking for 5 people that want to transform their life. I'm looking for 5 people that want to take their business to a totally new level. I'm looking for 5 people that want to lose 10 kilos in bloody 8 weeks. Whatever it is. Just start getting people's attention. And the reason why that is because you can start using this straight away. Not only is that going to help you out, but it's also going to help them out, and it's a win-win for everyone. Now, this is a self-mastery techniques training menu. So right now you're at the practitioner level. All right, so that's 100 hours by the time we tick and flick everything with the 6 days, plus everything else we got to do. It's 100-hour training. Step number 2, or level number 2, is going to be the master practitioner level in self-mastery techniques. That's 200 hours, as in 100 hours on top of what you've already done. And then if you really want to, for the people that want to go out and train other people to do exactly what we're doing right now, that's level 3, and that is a 300 hours total training. So my purpose or intention for these trainings is to train other people to go and train other people, because that is, within my mind, the easiest and simplest way to reach the masses. And not only to reach the masses, but for a very long period of time. This is more than just like my generation or our generation, so to speak. If you think about this, and sometimes it's a little bit weird to think about this, but what we're doing right now could literally be taught for generations and generations and generations to come. And have you ever seen the movie Interstellar? Crazy movie, right? I never saw it. I've always seen bits and pieces of it, but I saw it the other day for the first time, and obviously, it's been around for ages. And I just thought, it's such an inspirational movie. I pretty much cried through the whole bloody thing of it. But there was just one point in that time where I'm like, oh my God, that's like, what's it going to be like in another 100 years? I mean, are we even going to be here in 100 years, or are we going to, blow the planet up, or whatever it might be? But it's like very soon we're going to be like an interstellar civilization. We're going to be looking at other places. We already are. People are trying to get to Mars, right? How crazy would it be if the people that were driving the fucking plane, the bloody spaceship, whatever it was, were in some sort of catastrophe, and the only reason that they were able to hold their shit together is because in some strange way they knew the things that we were learning right now. They're like, man, I was in this bloody, I was in this thing, and I thought, right, what's the first thing I got to do? I got to relax. I got to absolutely relax. I got to go back. What do I need to learn? What do I need to love? What do I need to forgive? And all those sorts of things was the very reason, or was one of the stepping stones that got them to the position of where they were. I was like, wow, that is really cool. And something really profound happens when you start to think outside of your world, outside of your lifetime. You tap into a deeper well of emotional fuel. If you've got a purpose or intention or a mission of the next 10 years, well, it might only last the next 10 years. If you've got a purpose or a mission for the next 1,000 years, the next 100,000 years, whatever it might be, you might get access to way more knowledge, wisdom, energy than you could ever imagine. So maybe think about that as we're going through. What you're doing right now is not just for your lifetime, but it could be for many lifetimes. That would be pretty cool, I would think. And then obviously it is approved by the IICT. So you'll be able to get your insurance and sign up with them once we get ready and rock and roll.